set mining in a situation like this, you're actually going off of the tighter range of the pre-flop raiser, because the pre-flop raiser is the one that's supposed to have like a big hand, like an overpair or an ace-king type of hand. And some people are like, well, I'll call because these other people will call. And then if you flop a set, it's kind of hard to make money against, like, stack the other people, because they don't really have super strong hands unless they connect with the board, like it's a top two versus bottom set, type of scenario.
All right, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Again, a green light pulling off the freeway. And another one on Kitski. Probably never happened. That was my favorite clip from the most recent Crush Live poker podcast with Bart Hansen talking about considerations when set mining. And it is true. Oftentimes when you do that, the hands that are coming along with you are hands that are poised to beat a set, if you will. So something to keep in mind there. Love that podcast and the videos that go along with it. If you want to enjoy them too, it's the best way to improve your live poker game. You can get 25% off for life just by going to the link in the description below. This vlog is going international once again. The next time you see it, we'll probably have a bye week beforehand, but I am very excited about this. The only hint I will say is I am going to a location that has been featured on this vlog before. So you'll see that on the next video, but for this one, it's 510 at Peppermill. Vlog 306 comes your way from Reno, Nevada, a place where you will often find vacant tennis courts next to 4 full pickleball courts that occupy the exact same amount of space. A place where they recently held a tournament series, and there was a tournament where the format was all in or fold. Now, everyone in the player pool of our game knows that should be known as the Mr. W Invitational. So who won it? Bugsy! Fresh off his trip to Foxwoods. He also took third in a PLO bounty tournament and had 4 cashes in the series. After about a 90-minute wait on this Tuesday, we'd fire up a straight 5-10 game on table 1 at noon. By the way, playing straight 5-10 is undoubtedly a bigger game than 0-5-10 with The Rock, and should result in me getting dealt 8 deuce a lot less. Buying in for 1,000 hasn't been working out for me, so I'm buying in for 2,000 as we fire up a game with Mr. W, Bomb Pot Blue, John, the Concert Merch King, and several others. I'd win a few small pots early on, but wouldn't get into a hand of any significance until 1 p.m. It would come when we get a +1 raise to 35, and I have ace-king off in the cutoff. I would 3-bet 100 more here. Everyone else goes out, and the original raiser, the aforementioned Merch King, calls my raise. So with 285 in, the flop comes out King, King 6 with 2 clubs giving me trips. Now rather than just check, I figured I would attempt to slow play this hand by betting small, which actually gets money in the pot. I put in 100, hoping hands like pocket 9s, pocket 10s, or even jacks, if he decided not to re-raise those, would come along here. Sure enough, I get a call. With 485 in, the turn is not an ideal card. It's the 3 of clubs, bringing in the front door flush draw. Obviously, I don't have a club in my hand, so if I'm behind, I'm way behind. But he checks, and I'm obviously still going to bet. With such a big hand, I make it 200, keeping those 3 hands in mind to get potentially called by. And sure enough, after some thought, he does put in the call. So with 885 in, the river is the deuce of diamonds. Obviously a massive brick, which is nice. And he checks again. Now, I have lost big pots in situations exactly like this to this exact opponent before, when he has slow played big hands on me. So I'm aware that's going to be a possibility if he does have a monster, because he knows that I'm probably going to value bet relatively thinly, and I'm obviously going to value bet ace-king. Obviously, there is some risk in making a bet, but it is a risk that you're going to have to be willing to take in a spot like this with trip kings. So I go ahead and hope that he might consider the fact that I have a hand like ace-queen with the ace of clubs and missed my backdoor draw on the river, and now I'm trying to buy it, making it 300. And he gives it a decent amount of thought before announcing that he was worried that I had ace-king, but he had to call hoping I didn't. So we have a $1,485 pot. I table my cards, and he mucks. A dude next to me wearing this digital watch sits down and says, "Hey, I know you. I think I know you from somewhere. Oh yeah, your name's Alex, right?
Oh my god.
Mr. W was in this game, and we'd then get a player announcing ace high flush against him. And to everybody's amazement, Mr. W would say, oh, that's no good, tabling the deuce 6 for a straight flush, or a hand that in Reno was known as the Brian Namath, and he would do it in front of a recently having sat down Brian Namath, which I found funny. Over the next 2 hours, I was completely card dead. The only hand I'd even play during that time would come when I'd raised pocket fives to no avail. And it was an unfortunate spot, as two guys I don't know sat down on either side of me. And it was clear both were pros. Obviously, you don't instantly know that, but you can kind of tell how they play. You can look at the fact that they're playing at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, and they're younger than me, being one indication. And the fact that they both bought in for a bunch of black chips. All these are tells you can use to determine if some guy makes his living playing poker. And these two guys almost certainly were just kind of hanging around after the tournament series wrapped up. I'd play a double board bomb pot, flopping 2 pair on one board and a gut shot on the other. And in typical fashion, rather than hitting the straight on the top board, I'd river top pair. And rather than my 2 pair remaining good on the bottom board, one of my 2 opponents would hit his straight. And I would be out $490 in the process. This is a mid-session update. I've been a huge sports fan all my life, as you know. And it's interesting how rare it is to be able to experience watching a future Hall of Famer play for your team in the absolute prime of his career. I was too young to remember that for Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, but I'm experiencing it right now with Jack Eichel. And I sure as hell hope this results in yet another Stanley Cup. The next hour was excruciating, primarily just completely card dead as well, but the only times I'd play a hand, I'd either get 3-bet by one of these pros and have to fold, or simply miss everything, gradually giving back all the money I'd won in that ace-king hand. We'd get an under-the-gun raise from the man who is a slightly better soccer player than me, and I'd call the 35 middle position with pocket threes. Mr. W was away from the table on a team's meeting, so that reduced the chances of this being a multi-way pot. And with 85 in, we're heads up, and I'd flop a set on 8 deuce 3 with 1 spade. Namath checks, and I do the same thing that I did in the other hand, which was the only hand I'd won. During the 4 hours to this point, I would bet small as a slow play, making it 35. Sure enough, I get a quick call. I think it's very possible that I'm up against a hand like ace-king here still. And with 155 in, the turn, I bet 80. And now, I'm ruling ace-king out as he makes the call again. So with 315 in, the river is the 10 of spades. So backdoor spades come in, and now he bets out. But only for the amount I just did, so a pretty small bet. It's possible that raising a set of threes here is too thin. Talked about this last week with the king high flush, but once again in this spot, it's a risk I'm willing to take. I raise it to 200. And he gives it a pretty good deal of thought before finally folding his hand. We win our second pot of the day, but unfortunately are not up much at all. I'd look up on the big screen to see no gamble, no future, and would look down to see the button raising to 25 after everyone else mucked. Small blind would call. That's the pro from out of town. And I have 5-6 of spades in the big blind. I 3-bet to 135 here in an effort to just win it right now. And sure enough, that effort is indeed successful. The next time I was in the big blind, I would look down at 8 deuce. Apparently, they will still deal you that hand without a rock in play. I was unclear on that, but apparently it's true. Only 6 players are dealt in on this next hand, and under the gun limps. Hijack raises to 35, and I have ace 7 of spades in the cutoff and make the call. So the 120 in, the flop is jack 10 with 2 spades, giving me the nut flush draw. Original raiser in the hijack fires 45. Obviously, I'm not folding. Turns out, under the gun 1, that's John the concert merch king, isn't either. So we are still 3 ways, and with 255 in, the turn is the 5 of spades, giving me the ace-high flush. First player checks. Come to find out he was the one to worry about. The hijack bets 80, and now it's on me. I'm obviously going to raise here. Must raise spot if you ask me. I make it 225. And now, folds back around under the gun 1. Again, only 6 players were dealt into this hand to begin with. He then announces 550. Hijack folds and it's back on me. So what is my play here? This is a player who, as you know, has been known to give me a lot of action. But is this always a full house? It's hard to say. I gotta believe he would be pretty happy with a king-high flush or a queen-high flush in a spot like this. But I did give real consideration to just folding this hand right now. Thought about it a little more. I probably thought about it too long, in all honesty. And then I figured I could call the 325 and evaluate the river, playing $2,000 effective. So I call. And with 1,355 in, the river is something I didn't expect. It is another spade. So if he has a lower flush here, now there is no way he's going to bet. But he still does bet. And he bets pretty big, even though it's less than half the size of the pot. It's still a large bet in a live game. He fires 500. So now, at least I know that I'm beat. Kinda thought I was before. But there is no way that he would bet if he could not beat the stiff ace of spades, which now has come into a one-liner to a flush. So I give it a little bit of thought. He actually says he's going to show me either way, which part of me kind of thought that he might show me a bluff or something, but he said he was going to show me either way. I fold the hand, and he shows Jack 10 for the flopped full house. Obviously not a shock. I know I have pointed it out this year that I have never missed more draws in this length of time ever. I guess when I complained about that, I should have been more specific. I should have said, when I hit my draws, I want to occasionally make the best hand. Something I didn't do last week, and I didn't do this week either. Slick would sit down. He would not play for long and would not play many hands, although he would give me action on a couple of small pots. I just feel this is an opportunity to point out, because I hadn't realized it. Anna pointed it out to me. Slick may come from the family of a Hollywood legend, but his daughter is also super famous. She has over 300,000 Instagram followers and is quite possibly the most athletic human being on the face of the earth. According to Slick, she is training for a 200-mile race. And by the way, when I asked Slick his thoughts on his daughter having 300,000 Instagram followers, I kid you not, his response was, "What is Instagram?" Anyway, so I was stuck fairly big at this point. And I don't want to make a point about really analyzing bomb pots on this vlog, because no one really seems to care, and I don't blame you. But the day would hinge on one. A double board bomb pot. I would flop 2 pair with 5-7 on one board and an open-ender on the other. Mr. W would bet the flop, and I would call, as would several others, really juicing up the size of this pot. And sure enough, I would drill the straight on the turn. And Mr. W, true to form, would jam all in. Obviously, I have a call. His pocket queens were beat by 2 pair on one board, and my straight on the other. Bomb pots taketh, and bomb pots giveth back. A roller coaster session, ending in me booking a win, thanks to that last double board bomb pot. All right, so interesting session. I obviously had one bomb pot go against me and one go for me, as you saw there at the end, but obviously the most impactful hand was that one against John G, the concert merch king, when he flopped the full house and I turned the ace-high flush. I should have just folded that damn hand on the turn, but at least I was able to correctly fold it on the river. A $600 win, snapping a vlog losing streak. Need to string a couple more of them together though. All right, so we are taking this vlog international, as I mentioned, in the next vlog after a bye week. Looking forward to that. And throughout the course of that time, you're going to have the opportunity to win something. once again on this vlog. Last time we had the pure silver coin that we gave away. So this time, we're upping the ante, if you will, and giving away not 1, but 4 casino-related coins. Now, these ones are from what is now the Grand Sierra Resorts, which is, by the way, now home to a vlog favorite in Reno. But it didn't used to be called that. It opened as the MGM back in 1978, then became Bally's in the mid-'80s, and then changed to the Reno Hilton in the early 90s before becoming the Grand Sierra Resort. So these coins are from the turn of the century celebration they did there at the Reno Hilton. So it's a free roll, and the best comment over the course of the next month or so will take that home. If you live internationally and win, you will have to pay for shipping. So the way it works, as I indicated in the last time we actually gave one away, is you can either be absolutely hilarious or you can provide some insight that will help other viewers of this vlog. That's what Dave Weaver did, who won the last one. So you can try to go the same direction if you want in an attempt to win that particular free roll. That'll wrap things up for this edition of the vlog. Hit those like and subscribe buttons if you can. I genuinely appreciate that. And we'll see you from over the ocean next time.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new